Hey guys, this week we're going to be working on a figure of Postman Pat. I've got Renshaws in Atlantic Blue and some Renshaws Navy Blue, which I'm going to mix together to get the right shade. Firstly, roll out a long sausage, bend it in the middle and then cut the legs short. It feels weird to cut them so short, but we are working with the proportions of the character. I've just got a polystyrene block here that I'm going to place him on. Usually I make all my figures straight onto the cakes, but it's easier to film them on polystyrene for a tutorial. Next, roll a soft oblong for his body and cut one end flat. At the other end, cut out a V shape with your scalpel and remove the inner paste. Place the body on top of the legs and insert a cocktail stick slightly off centre. Push it right down so that the body is connected to the legs and that the legs are connected to your cake, or your piece of polystyrene. With a Dresden tool, continue one side of the V and then go straight down for the overlap on his jacket. Then mark in small rectangles on either side for the tops of his pockets. Now insert a cocktail stick in the centre. You want to leave it long enough for his head, so the first cocktail stick supports the figure on the cake and the second cocktail stick is supporting his head to his body. Now pop him to one side to firm up a bit. I have only used sugar paste so far, no gum paste, modelling paste or tylo powder. Now roll a ball of black paste and cut it in half down the middle. This will create his two shoes. Score a line across the bottom of the shoe with the Dresden tool for the heel and stick them to the end of his pants with water. Squash a small oval of flesh paste and cut out a triangle shape from one side to create a small thumb. Just round the harsh edges out by tapping and rolling between your fingers. This is a nice easy hand to make as he only has 3 fingers, so gently separate them and again roll them and tap them. His fingers are quite short, so there's no need to pull and elongate them. His fingers are a little further apart, so just gently push between each one with a Dresden tool. Add his hand to his leg and then roll out a blue sausage of paste, cutting one end at an angle and one end flat. Here I've decided that the arm was a bit too long, so I've just chopped it down a bit and connected the hand up to the shoulder, adding in an elbow crease in the centre. The other arm is done in the same way, one end cut at an angle and one flat. Just attach the angled end to the shoulder and gently roll a cocktail stick all the way down through it into the body, leaving a little exposed to hold the hand. Then gently push the hand onto the exposed stick and arrange the fingers how you like. Once he is firmed up a little, tap a piece of white paste into a flat triangle shape. Place the point down into the V that we cut earlier and squash it to meet all the sides. Roll out a thin piece of black paste and cut out a skinny tie. Again, you want to put the point at the bottom of the V and then trim off any tie that's too long. Squash a ball of paste into a soft triangle and add it to the top of the tie for the knot. Then roll out some white paste and cut out 2 small triangles. These will stick on either side of the knot. Then roll out the blue of his suit, cutting out a point, then coming back out and straight down longer for the lapel. It's roughly this sort of shape. Add the lapel covering the join where it meets the shirt. You may want to put the left one on first and then overlap it with the right. This is just me trimming it down to fit. To finish off the suit, add 2 small balls as buttons. Next, roll a flesh sausage for the head. Pat's head is really quite long, so I'm just trimming the top flat. Then roll a small oval, cutting one end flat and adding this to the centre of the sausage for a nose. With a ball tool, indent right above the nose, close together for his eyes. His head is still a little long at the top, so I'm cutting it just above the eye sockets. Add 2 white balls to the sockets and squash them flat. Then small black balls for the pupils, and an additional step is to add 2 small white ones for catch lights. He doesn't actually have these, but I add them to most of my figures for something a little extra. Gently twist the head down the stick until it meets his shirt's collar. With some black edible paint and a fine paintbrush, paint on his little smile. Cut out a chunky blue circle, almost the same diameter as his head, and place this on the top. Then squash another disc slightly bigger than the last, but squashed out and round the edges. Add this to the top and pull the front up a little. Squash a black piece of paste with tapered ends and add this to the bottom of the hat for the brim. His ears are nice and simple. A flesh ball, flattened, cut in half and added up near the eyes and nose with water. His hair is made up of flattened balls of paste in a gingerish sort of colour. You can texture it slightly with the large end of the Dresden tool. He's almost there, he just needs his glasses. Grab some silver wire, this was roughly 24 gauge, and loop it around something round. One full wrap will create one lens of his glasses. Then move the wire along a little bit and loop it around again, and this creates his 2 lenses. Bend the wire whilst also dropping it and create the arms of the glasses. Then just trim them down with wire cutters. Add them to Pat's face while pushing them into his hair to secure them. With some edible gold paint, paint his buttons and also the little symbol on his hat. And he's done. A cute little figure ready for the top of the cake. Add him to a countryside scene or even just a chocolatey feast like this one. Hope you find this useful. Please give me a tag over on Instagram if you use any of my tutorials so I can see what you've been up to. Thanks guys, see you next week.